What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be trying to assemble this little 350 Chevy for my buddy Sean. It's a super duper budget build, and I normally would suggest machine work on the block and all the cylinders and stuff and the crank, have it turned, and you know, whatever you got to do. I normally would suggest that kind of stuff, but since he's kind of in a pinch, he needs a motor quick, he needs this thing turned around, and he needs to be on a budget, we're going to put this thing together, you know, and let it ride. I mean, I think it's going to be okay. The crank looks pretty good. This is a factory bore space motor, so we've got a lot of room to grow if we need to. He needs a motor to get him through for about a year or so, and I think that's going to be fine. This thing's going to rock and roll. So anyway, guys, like, comment, subscribe, and hope you enjoy. So this here is a little 350 we're going to put together for my buddy. It's grimy and grungy, so we're going to have to clean it. He had a motor originally, and we kind of found out when we took it apart that the motor itself had a bent rod, and he's kind of on a budget, so we found this motor for $100. It's actually a factory bore motor, and we're going to put the pistons back in it, and we're going to put some fresh rings and bearings in it. We're going to use his crankshaft that he had. This crank and this motor was a 20 on the mains, 30 on the rods over turned, so we're going to use his since he already had the bearings and stuff, and we're just going to cone this block out real good, knock out these lifters, take the cam out of it, clean the block real good, and we'll start putting this thing together. Alright guys, so we're getting ready to pull this crankshaft out, and as you can tell, this thing is grimy. We're going to clean it up real good, but a little thing I like to do that a lot of people don't know is I got a good impact gun there, but I like to break these main caps loose with a pull handle. That way I'm not shocking the cap with the impact of the gun. I like to just kind of break the torque off, like if, you know, you take it here and you just kind of break the torque, and that's it. You know, just break the torque off the bolt, and then you can pull it out with a gun then. But I like to do it in the pattern that you would do it in to cinch the bolt down. And I break the torque on all the bolts at the same in the same pattern. That way we don't have a warping of the crank. Guys, so we got her apart. We had a little bit of a struggle with the camshaft. There was a dang nut that had fell down. I don't know if it was in the motor or if I left it there, I don't know, but there was a nut that got down into the camshaft tunnel and was holding the camshaft up, and I was like, woo. So when I put the cam back in there, I pulled the lifters back out, pushed what lifters down, I looked in there and there was that nut. I pulled it out, and boom, here come the cam right out like as smooth as butter. So the block looks like it's in pretty good shape. It's very dirty, so we're getting ready to put something to it right now. So let's get to it. Alright guys, we have pressure washed this rig, and we got it pretty good. We're gonna blow it out now, try to get some air through this thing, get all that water to dry up, and then we're gonna clean it up real good. But heavy duty degreaser, that Purple Power, and a high pressure washer, thing do wonders for your engine, especially when it's grimy. Yep, let's get to blowing it up. guys, we got this motor cleaned up. Now what I like to do is I like to come in every single one of these holes and put, when I'm cleaning the block, I flood it with water. And then, you know, I make sure that if you flood these water jackets, a lot of times you'll get a lot of the grime out of the block. But once I get all that done, I do go in here with my air blower right there. And I stick it in every one of these holes and blow them holes out to make sure I've got a clean hole. I do the same thing under the bottom with all the oil galleys. Normally on these engines, on these small block Chevrolets, where the oil return is here and there, I usually try to take a deburr tool and knock out a lot of that cast and flash and stuff and make it like a really easy path for oil to return back into the block. But since this engine's kind of in a hurry and in reality, I mean, he's not going to turn it very hard. It's going to pretty much be about stock. I think he's using a stock pump. I don't think this is going to be a problem. As y'all can see right here, maybe. Yeah, right there. See the cast and flash? I usually try to knock that stuff down and make the whole round and smooth it all out into here and get all that stuff smoothed out. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to get my honing stone and some oil, and we're going to hone these cylinders out. I'm going to start out with 5. So I'm going to start out right here with 5 passes each cylinder. You want to try to maintain the same speed, the same everything. That way you can get some evenness in your cylinders. These cylinders look good, except for this one right here. It's got a little bit of dookie in it. I'm hoping 5 passes to clean it up. So we'll start out with 5. If we have to, we'll go to 10 on each cylinder. But the engine block is cleaned up pretty good. All right, guys, so we got this thing honed out, and it needs to be bored. I'm not even going to lie to you. I was hoping we could clean it up. I went 20 passes each cylinder. It's not cleaning up, and I'll show you that. But he's not going to bore it out. He wants to put rings and bearings in it and let it ride. So that's what we're going to do. I'll show you the cylinders, and this is why we bore them over. All right, guys, so here, this cylinder here, it ain't bad. It's got some, this cylinder here is very bad. I mean, that is not good at all. I mean, this cylinder here is not bad at all either. This one here is pitted bad too. So really, man, I just, this cylinder here needs it needs to be cleaned up. That cylinder there is not bad. This one's not too bad. This one here is not too bad either, but it could use some cleaning up. What's up, guys? So I didn't get a chance to finish everything that I did today because I had to go get my boy. As you can see, we're getting ready to go to bed. So anyway, what ended up happening was I ended up putting the odd number bank pistons in that motor. And tomorrow we'll explain more about what the consequences are of building a motor in this fashion. And we'll go a little bit more in depth. So we'll see you for part 2.
What does it say?
Is it going to snore?
And don't snore. Snore. And this is the coffee table. I yell the purchases. Complete. Hit it, Dada. Hit the red button.
I did, boy.